They were on the earth when he made it the first time, which is another whole show. But I
Yeah,
will
it would
just
be.
say, when it says in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, okay, there's a time when he made the earth that mankind was not on the earth yet. He made it, it was beautiful. There was no sun to light it, it was lit by his glory. And there's a scripture, I think in Jeremiah, that talks about when God turned the light out. Um, and then there was darkness upon the deep. So between verses 1 and 2 are millions of years. If you're not in that group, you'll get over it when you get to heaven and find out. But when the dinosaurs were made, when he first made the earth, I was taken back. I saw it. It was the sky was like a peachy pink, and there
Wow.
was this water vapor shield that he put around the original Earth. It's still the same landmass, by the way, and it was round back then, not flat. How about that? So when he made the Earth the first time, he made it, and there was no storms, there was no raining on the Earth, so he had to have a
Hmm.
way to water these 100-foot high flowers that I saw there. They had forest of flowers. A small dinosaur could actually go stand under one if they wanted to.
Really?
None of the dinosaurs ate flesh. When they were first made, they ate the vegetation, they ate the seeds, they ate the fruit. That's what he gave them to eat. When he first made them, they weren't wild, they weren't, harmful. That happened when Satan was cast out of heaven.
Hmm.
Uh, but when he made the earth the first time, it was beautiful. There was such peace. He put watcher angels who have flesh on them on the earth to care for the dinosaurs, and they would talk to them. The dinosaurs talk back to them. And so that was during that time. When he flooded the earth with water the first time, this was before Noah's Ark, and it clearly says in verse 2 that there was darkness upon the face of the deep, right? That was the water, and the Spirit hovered over it, and God was about to remake the earth. That so
Hmm.
before that time was when the dinosaurs existed. There were no Cro-Magnon men, there was no cavemen at that time. It was just God's creatures and the watcher angels on this beautiful earth, which you will get to see when you get to heaven. By the way, you see all of it happening. And then when he decided, okay, Satan's trying to destroy the earth and mess it up, because he is actually the one who made the dinosaurs bad. Well, they began to eat each other
Oh, wow.
and bring destruction on the earth, and Satan began to make it a wilderness, which it says in the Bible. It says he began to make the earth a wilderness. It says that this is the original earth and was causing destruction on the earth. That's why God took the light away. It says he turned the light out. He took his glory off the earth that brought the darkness, and then he began to break the water vapor shield that had twice as much water in it that brought a mist down. So the mist used to come from there and from the earth itself. And that's how the flowers got the water and the dinosaurs' hide was. I can tell you this, you can't take a dinosaur and stick them in the desert, but they have found their bones in the desert because that part used to have ocean in it. You can't take a hide this thick and not keep water on it. Even alligators, crocodiles have to stay in the water. Most of the time, they come out in the sun for a while, but if they got trapped out of the water, that hide would eventually crack and
Hmm.
fall apart. So there's all kinds of evidence around us that something existed before our time, and people try to make it something else. God made the earth the first time, lit it with his glory, made this whole system with this water vapor shield, and then he put two handfuls of water on it, another water vapor shield, and it was like being in an atrium, and his glory lit that whole earth. So with the mist coming and the light of the glory, it made the sky not blue.
Hmm.
They didn't even need oxygen at that time because this was before the fall. This is before the fall happened, and things were just different, run different. In verse 2, there's destruction that's happened on the earth. There's even water on the sky. It says he removed the water off the firmament. The firmament is the sky. So all these in verse 2, all this stuff has happened. He didn't make it that way. And then it says clearly he began to replenish the earth. In other words, he was putting it back together, removing all the excess water off of it, drying it out where it needed to be dried out. And then he began to replenish the earth with the creatures, with the birds and all that stuff. And then, of course, we know on the sixth day, he decided to make man. So there's you a little bit of a big picture that happened.